Good evening, room 207 students. I hope you're doing good today on your second day of spring break. I'm here with Rossi and we are going to read chapter 11 in Crenshaw. We're going to continue asking questions as we read because as I just looked over this chapter, I thought that was a good strategy to use as we read. So when we read, we're gonna, you can't see it because of this light. I move back further, you see me better, but it's asking questions. And good readers do that when they read. And when they ask questions, they think about what they want to know, what's a confusing part, and maybe it's in the text and you can figure it out as you read, or maybe it's something you need to look up later, or maybe it is going to be revealed to you eventually in another chapter. But you keep asking those questions as you read, okay? All right, so the light is getting better now, so it's harder to see me. All right, just gotta move back a little bit. The sun keeps coming in and out behind the clouds. All right, let's start reading. Ready, Rossi? Chapter 11. I finally fell asleep, but around 11, I woke. I got up to go to the bathroom, and as I headed down the hall, I realized my parents were still awake. I could hear them talking in the living room. They were thinking of places we could go if we couldn't pay the rent. If I don't become an animal scientist, I would make a great spy. My mom said, "How about Gladys and Joe?" My dad's parents. They live in an apartment in New Jersey. My dad said they only have one extra bedroom. Then he declared, plus, I couldn't live under his roof. He's the most pig-headed man on the planet. I wonder what he means by that. Jackson's dad, what does he mean by pig-headed? Second most pig-headed, said my mom. We could try borrowing money from our families. My dad rubbed his eyes. Do we have a rich relative I've never met? I see your point, said my mom. Then she said, how about my dad's cousin in Idaho who has a ranch? Or her mom in Sarasota who has a condo? Or his old buddy Cal who lives in Maine in a trailer? My dad asked, which of those people would take in 2 adults, 2 children, and a dog who eats furniture? Besides, he said he didn't want to accept any handouts. Any handouts? Now it's your turn. What do you think Jackson's dad means there? He doesn't want to accept any handouts. You do realize we can't live in the minivan again, my mom said. Oh, so now I'm asking myself, so they've lived in the minivan before? I wonder when they lived in the minivan before. No, said my dad, we can't. Aretha's a lot bigger. She takes up the whole middle seat. Plus she farts a lot, my dad sighed. Who knows? Sunday at the yard sale, someone might give us $1 million for Robin's old high chair. Good point, said my mom. It comes with extra Cheerios stuck to the seat. They fell silent. We should sell the TV, my mom said after a while. I know it's ancient, but still. My dad shook his head. We're not barbarians. He clicked the remote and on and a black and white movie came to life. My mom stood. I'm so tired. She looked at my dad with her arms crossed over her chest. Look, she said, there's nothing at all wrong with asking for help, Tom. Her voice was low and slow. It was the voice she used when a fight was coming. My chest tightened. The air felt thick. There's everything wrong with asking for help, my dad snapped. It means we failed. His voice had changed too. It was sharp and hard. We have not failed. We are doing the best we can, my mom gave a frustrated groan. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans, Tom. Really, my dad was yelling. So now we're resorting to fortune cookie wisdom? Like that's going to help put food in our kids' mouths? Well, refusing to ask for help isn't going to. We have asked for help, Sarah. We've been to that food pantry more times than I care to admit. But in the end, this is our problem to solve, my dad shouted. You're not responsible for getting sick, Tom, and you're not responsible for getting laid off. My mom threw her hands in the air. Oh, what's the point? I'm going to bed. I slipped into the bedroom as my mom stormed down the hall. She slammed her bedroom door so loudly the whole house seemed to tremble. I waited a few minutes to make sure the coast was clear. The coast was clear. That's an idiom. That means no one is around. When I headed back to my room, my dad was still on the couch staring at the gray ghosts moving across the screen. The gray ghosts. What do you think they mean by that? The author means gray ghosts. All right, that is the end of chapter 11. Tomorrow we'll read chapter 12. There's a little bit of Crenshaw poking up. And Rossi says good night. I hope you have a good evening and rest of your day, and depending on what time you see this. And we'll see you again tomorrow with the next chapter. And hope you're taking care of yourself and you're getting your exercise and you get to go out in the nice sunshine and be with your family, but making sure that you're staying safe distances from other people. I miss you all very much. I think about you every day. Right. Good night.